Well, welcome, friends and family, to the CMA Influencer Show. Today, we're going to be covering the law of the mirror. You're going to love this law. Um, I want to cover just a little bit how important this law is and how I realized the importance of it was. It's and it's a little bit of a tragic story, but the law of the mirror is. I realized the importance of it when I realized that someone in my life, um, and y'all, and some of y'all will recognize this. Do you know anyone that's always questioning your love for them? Who's always asking you, why do you love me? Many times that's because they're not, you must see value in yourself and add value to yourself. Many times when they're questioning your love for them, or they're asking, why would someone else love me? They don't see the value or the love in themselves. And it's hard for them to add that value to themselves. It's very hard for someone to love someone else if they don't love themselves. And I think the law of the mirror covers this quite in depth. So let's go ahead and get started. Ooh. About learning about the law of the mirror, developing yourself. So review. Oh, I'm sorry. I just needed to before we finish. I just wanted to share this out very quickly with a couple of other pages here. Give me just one moment, please. Share, post to a page. And please, if you can, share this with anyone that you want to see it. And one more to share with in the group. And post. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Plug that back in. Okay. So, what is the definition of potential? Review. Let me just review the definition of potential here really quickly. Why do so many people fail to grow and reach their potential? Personal development is a belief that you are worth the effort, time, energy needed to develop yourself. So, list some of the known barriers to one's potential. What are your barriers to your potential? Many times it's yourself. I know for me, one of the greatest barriers to potential for me is believing in myself and having that self-doubt. And so what we're going to learn about here is about bringing down those barriers to your potential. All right. So a look in the mirror, the power of positive self-esteem or positive self-love, I would say. Self-esteem and self-love is very close to the same. So looking in the mirror, your self-image and your self-esteem. Self-esteem is the single most significant key to a person's behavior. Low self-esteem puts a ceiling on our potential. So the idea that people are never able to think about the idea that people are never able to outperform their self-image, what they see of themselves. They cannot perform higher than what they see in themselves. The value we place on ourselves is usually the value others place on us. So there's a good quote here. So if you place a small value on yourself, rest assured the world will not raise the price. So the difference between understanding others' views on us and placing too much weight on their view. You cannot place your value on the view of others. And think about it. The way others view you is the way you view yourself at a lot of times. So how are you viewing yourself? What self-talk do you have? All right. There's a quote in here from Zig Ziglar. He's always got great quotes. And so it says, it's impossible to consistently have in a manner, it's impossible to consistently behave in a manner inconsistent with how we see ourselves. We can do very few things in a positive way if we feel negative about ourselves. Most definitely. All right. So you shouldn't be too concerned about what others think about you, okay? Please, please, please. And it's very important of what you think of yourself. All right, steps to building your self-esteem. So making the turn towards positive change, okay? You need to guard your self-talk. What are you telling yourself? Anytime you pick up a negative thought, you need to change it. What we say about ourselves, we tend to believe. What we say about ourselves, we tend to believe. So what we believe, we tend to act. What we act, we tend to become. All right? So no world record was ever set by someone who said, I can't do this. So please, guard your self-talk. Remember that. The next one is stop comparing yourself to others. So making comparisons is an amazingly powerful attraction that is really just an unneeded distraction to your own potential. It's in our society today, it's always an attraction, a powerful attraction to compare ourselves. But remember, it's an unneeded distraction and it can block your own potential. Move beyond your own self-limiting beliefs. So whether you think, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you are right. So that was by Henry Ford. Do you get that one? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So what you're thinking, what you're believing is what's going to happen, okay? Charles Schwab said, when a man puts a limit on what he will do, he places a limit on what he can do, all right? Now, I'm talking about having limits on what you can't do, not making compromises, and ethically, that's a good thing. But when you put limits on what you're capable of, that's where the problems come about. So there's steps to transforming limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs. The first one, identify a limiting belief that you want to change. Determine how that belief limits you, okay? Decide how you want to act and how you want to feel or think. Remember when you were a young kid and you had what many people might have thought impossible dreams, impossible goals, but you believed you could do them. Start believing in those again. Start believing in those again to become the person you dream about being. So create a turnaround statement that affirms or gives you the permission to act, feel, or think differently. Create an I am or an I can or I am able to statement and have that as your mantra, as what you feel. So if you have, pick one limiting belief, right? Determine how it limits you. Decide, and if it's negative, decide how the opposite side of how you want to act and feel and think. Then you say, I am capable. I am, don't use not, okay? It's an I can or I am able. So I can make friendships. I am able to meet, um, uh, how can I say, good people. I can get my dream job. I am able to exercise every day. I am able to lose that 10 kilos. Whatever it is, that limiting belief, repeat those I am or I can or I am able statements. Because whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. Right. Next steps here. So you're, oh, yeah, other steps to building good self-esteem. Do the right thing, even if it's a hard thing to do. It sounds way simple, but doing the wrong things does harm your self-image, and doing the right things does raise your self-image. Even the little things. So, and it is simple. So if you can't be true to yourself, to whom will you be true? If you can't be true to yourself, then who else are you going to be true to? You've got to be true to yourself to be able to be true to others. And doing the right thing helps you feel right. And if you do the wrong things, it will harm your self-image. All right. Practice small disciplines daily. And so discipline is one of the most powerful morale builders. I know it's been a dirty word or a restrictive word, but I love Jocko Willnick's view on discipline. Discipline equals freedom. Planning equals freedom. Because when you plan those little things, when you're intentional with your life, when you apply discipline in your life, you're free to do the things you want to do. If you don't have discipline, if you don't have planning, if you live your life moment to moment without intention, it's chaos. And actually, it restricts your freedom to do much of anything. All right. So celebrate small victories. Once you practice a specific discipline, then celebrate that as a victory, even so small. I gotta say, I've been working a little bit more and not exercising as much, um, and so I've gotten back on my exercise routine. I probably got off of it about a couple of weeks, but I've been back on it, and those weights are a bit more heavier than I thought they were. But I then celebrate with some chocolate or something, as a reward for getting back in there and doing that. All right. So celebrate those small victories. Even small changes are change. Ask this: are you trying to change? Do you change even a little bit? Then you have already succeeded. So even when you change a little bit, you've already succeeded. The next one is embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. Okay, get that? Embrace a positive image for your life based on what you value. Take all your values, place them in a basket, and pour them out for the future. Your values must drive your decisions for the future. Many people here may have not even done a values assessment. It's really good to write them down. What are those things you're not willing to compromise on? You need to set your values: family, honesty, relationships, your purpose in life, sowing the seeds to benefit others. How can I add value to other people? Growing to reach your maximum potential. Okay. Some of my values and some of my uncompromising values. Okay. I value life. I value my own life and my children's life. So I'm not going to do anything to compromise their life, and probably many people are going to be a little bit controversial about this, but I wouldn't give them some of those combined vaccinations, because I know they've been proven, the research is there, that it has a potential to give them brain damage, to give them autism, to degrade their immune system. So I would never, that's something I wouldn't compromise. And so even, or in work situations, I'm an accountant, and I've gone into companies where they have like 4 sets of books. And I'm like, sorry, I have one set of books. What they show the actual reality as best as we know it, to the facts of how it's operating, and I stand by that. I'm not going to create other books, even if it costs me my job. So you need to determine your values, do your values assessments, because if we go back to, doing the right thing, you can't do the right thing until you know your values. But you got to do the right thing for what you can what you live by. Okay. The next one is practice the one word strategy. If you pick just one word to describe yourself, what would it be? If you pick right now one word to describe yourself, what would it be? My word right now would be committed. Okay, committed, commitment, committed. Also, although my word for the year I started out with in January was actually service, but now it's reset. Some of y'all will understand what I mean. This year is going to be definitely a reset year for me. So that one word you chose for yourself, if it is not positive, then you got to drop the word and you got to pick another one. Do not pick. It's good to any words that you pick to describe yourself need to be positive words. And last but not least, take responsibility for your life. If those of you who have been following Jordan Peterson a bit, he says that the fate when he tells the group in his audience, and he's bringing in thousands and thousands of audience members to his lectures. He's got millions of followers, and he's like, he can see their faces light up when he tells them, take responsibility for your life. If you want to change the world, if you want to clean up the world, start by just cleaning up your room and taking responsibility for the small things in your life. So you can maintain a positive self-image, but only you can maintain that positive self-image. Do you know what I mean? You have to take responsibility for it. If you lay blame, if you play the victim, if you do not take responsibility for your life, you're essentially giving control up of your life. If you're laying blame, if you're telling someone else, saying that you're in this position because of so-and-so, and not because of what decisions you've made, and take responsibility, then you're giving up your control. If you look in the mirror and do not see a capable, worthy, and fully valuable person, you need to change either the reflection or get a new mirror. So which mirror are you looking in? Choose wisely. So the broken mirror or the positive view of yourself. So when you live this law, the law of the mirror, you will show others the way and then empower them to learn it and to live it too. So some tricks for applying the mirror in your life. Okay, I'm gonna review kind of what we did before. Make a list of your best personal qualities. Review this list daily and add more as your awareness of yourself rises. It's known that your self-talk has a powerful effect on those who practice it. Negative self-talk to the negative, and positive self-talk to the positive. I want to just add on there. So Zig Ziglar, probably Ziglar.com or ZigZiglar.com. If you type in a search in their self-talk, they have a self-talk cards. That's the one I use. Do it morning and night, and it really helps with your self-talk. It's affirmations, self-talk or affirmations. Write down some positive self-talk narratives that you can review each day, particularly have them in your pocket, particularly if when you have any negative self-talk, bring those out, that I can, I am capable, I am positive, I am loyal, I am honest. I am open. I am a good communicator. Whatever it is that you want to become, write those down so that, or place them where you can see them and repeat them throughout your day. Oh, yeah, well, that's the next one. Find a place to display positive statements about yourself that you can read each day. Track how often you practice positive self talk. I mean, if you go into my kitchen, and because, a lot of times I'm sitting there doing dishes and I look up and I'll have positive self talk statements right there. Uh, my favorite is Zig Ziglar. If you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Make specific scheduled time each day to focus on others. Write down other people's positive qualities and find a way to mention these things to them. Also, just find out what people value, what people want. Talk to them about it. And then find specific activities that, by their nature, focus on other people. Really, when you, I know when I was in just angry and depressed, really hurt by betrayal of someone in my life. What really got me through was serving others. Going and serving others really helped me turn those negative emotions into positive emotions. To appreciate, even though I was going through pain, to appreciate how lucky I was and with what I had, because so many other people were even not as fortunate as me at that time. So, all right. So that is the law of the mirror. I hope it added value to you and you got some little nuggets out there to help you in your life. And I just want to say hello, Fiona, Tracy, Michael, Matt, Robin, Melanie, and Irene. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful week. And we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.